With God, all things are possible. This article was inspired by this photo, which was taken in my apartment. That is all that really the truth is. In the midst of all the turmoil, the pandemonium, the ups and downs in life, the pendulum always swings the other way in equal force and or proportion. Things are all going to get better. Your job in that process is to maintain confidence and unrelentless faith in that process. What happens is when things are bad is when the seeds of doubt and despair come creeping into the mind. And those seeds of doubt, fear, and worry are what work against what it is that God's trying to create for you in your life. It's like the antithesis, the antichrist, etc. If the saying is true that God made us in its image, then why is it that God wouldn't want the best for us? Because the best for us means the best for God. That is truly the way it is. But it's those thoughts of doubt, fear, and worry that work against what God is doing in our lives. I believe this is true because it is what has been spoken since the beginning of time. And it also has proven true in my life in many ways that I cannot explain. I cannot explain the occurrences that seem like miracles in my life other than saying that there were forces at play bigger than myself. It has to be the case because the way that things happen for me were most of the time so coincidental that I cannot in my logical mind take credit for them. My ego would like to, but I'm strong enough to tell my ego to take a back seat and give the credit where the credit is due. Now, that is not to say that my ego doesn't deserve praise as well, as it is the reason I believed in myself enough to move forward when the miracles seemed to present themselves. If it wasn't for my strong ego, I do not believe that I would have had the courage to move so courageously into some of the things that I moved so courageously into, such as taking on a $2 million LED contract with one of the biggest commercial real estate developers in Long Island back in 2018, when I really didn't know if I had the wherewithal to handle such a project. Or the time when I decided to say no to some potential investors who were trying to lowball me at the time when I needed capital to keep my business running. I remember thinking to myself, I'm worth more than 150K, which is what they were trying to offer me back in 2017 to buy 66% of my business. You could bet I could have used the money, but my ego said, no, Rashawn, you will not sell out for that. You will figure out another way. And boy, am I glad I listened to him. He saved me because he thought highly of me. Your ego is important and not to be taken for granted. Your ego is what gives you the courage to walk courageously through life's turbulent moments and do so with confidence. And it's that confidence in those turbulent times that leads you to getting through to the other side, because the unconfident person wouldn't have the confidence to walk into the turbulence, and therefore they wouldn't get the chance to see what's on the other side. With God, all things are possible, and with ego, all things are manageable. Remember that they work together, not separately. You can't navigate this earthly realm without some form of ego. You will just get pushed around left and right, and you can't conquer this earthly realm without help from something above and beyond it, which is what we are referring to as God. Both work in your best interests. Until next time.